Hello, I'm Gus Prestera. Welcome to SPEX 615. I'm going to give you a little introduction to the course here, give you an overview, and take you through some resources that you're going to be using this semester. Uh, the course is SPEX 615, Decision Making and Change Management. Where the course is concerned with organizational change, not individual level change, not like I need to lose weight, which I do, or societal change. I'm trying to end world hunger. Those are certainly important as well, but this course focuses on organizational change. So what happens inside of an organization that you're in, whether it's an academic organization, the military, government, corporate, church, whatever it happens to be, whatever organization you're a part of, if you want to bring about change in that organization, what do you need to do, right? And studies have found that between 70 and 85% of change, organizational change initiatives fail to meet their objectives. This course is designed to help you beat those odds. Okay, so we're going to take a really hard look at why change initiatives fail and what we can do differently to make sure that they don't fail when you go to do it. So this course revolves around a team project where you'll actually be working with other students to select a real-world organization, a real-world need. You'll do some analysis on that. You'll present a business case for what the change is, why the change is needed in that organization, and then you'll put together a change strategy for that to describe how you would go about making that change and happen in that organization, how you would make it make the switch and make it stick, as we like to say. So that's the project, and that's going to be a big part of your grade in addition to the readings, discussions, and other assignments that you're going to have. You'll see all that in the syllabus. But what I really want to focus on is this team project because it is such a big part of this class. So I'm going to share my screen for a moment here and take you through one of the resources we've developed to help you with this particular project. So let me share my screen, and I'm going to bring up the project template and job aid specifically for this course. And I'm going to go over this process with you, the organizational change journey. You'll see some resources in the course materials for this, but I just want to take you through this and help you understand how this maps to the course. So what this is trying to describe for you is what an organizational change initiative typically looks like. So you start off with some sort of a perceived need. So someone in the organization says, "Ooh, there's something wrong. We need to fix it." And maybe that's you, or maybe somebody else did that, and they came to you and said to you, "You know, this organization really needs to get better at this or that." And so you have a perceived need, but you need to do a little bit more digging there to understand that need better, right? To understand what's really the problem, what are the consequences of that problem, and how is it impacting the organization. And assuming that the impact is large enough and it's worth fixing, then let's really understand what the root causes are, and eventually maybe get to one or two root causes, so that then whatever solution we design really tackles those root causes. Right? And one of the big reasons why a lot of change initiatives fail is because they don't really go after the root causes. They go after the surface level, or maybe don't even pay any attention to the causes of the problem, and you end up having a solution that isn't really solving the problem. So this is a really important step, is really getting down into the need, doing that needs analysis, and bringing everything into sharp understanding, right? A clear understanding of what the problem is, the impact, the root causes, and so forth. And that then will better inform your solution design, which is the next part of the process, where you actually then come up with solutions to solve that problem. Now, one of the common mistakes that people make is that they start off with the solution. They say, you know, this organization needs a new HRIS system, or it needs a new learning management system, it needs a new customer relationship management system, or it needs a new process, or we really need to value customer service more, and we're going to put together customer service training. And so they come up with a solution first to what is a perceived problem, but because they never did any needs analysis, they really haven't gotten to the root cause. And so their solution really is putting the cart before the horse. And so they wind up designing a solution without really understanding the problem. So what we're going to try to do in this class is do it differently. You're going to first try to focus in on the problem. Once you really understand the problem, then you're going to design a solution that really addresses that problem. right? And to the extent that they're aligned, that your solution aligns with the problem, you're going to do well, right? And you're going to have success not only in the class, but also in the real world. So coming out of that, then out of that step, you're going to have a solution that you've designed, that you've brainstormed with your team, you've tested it perhaps, you've gotten some feedback from other people, maybe in the organization, the real organization. You've got some other perspectives, you've kind of pressure tested that idea, and then you're going to put together a pitch, a business case proposal, which is very common in corporations, but it's also common in the military and in government and even in academia. When you have an idea, you present a business case for it. It looks a little different in different contexts, but the idea is the same. You're going to need to get support from somebody higher up than you, who has control of the money, who has political power, and can provide the support that you need in order to make your change initiative happen in the organization. They're like gatekeepers, right? So these stakeholders are really important. Oftentimes they're senior leaders in your organization. And so you're going to need to present to them your idea and convince them that that the problem is real, the problem's worth solving, and that you have the right solution to that problem, and that they should invest their money, their support, their political capital in you and your idea. So that's a really important piece. And so that's going to be one of your deliverables for this class, is to make that presentation. You can do it just like I'm doing here on a Zoom, and record it and submit it, and you're all set. But the idea that, you know, it all has to be tight. It has to be compelling. You have to be able to persuade your stakeholders with the right combination of emotional appeals and data, rational arguments, right? And make a really strong case for that change. Assuming that you do a good job with that, then your stakeholders will hopefully agree that, yeah, you're right, this is a change that's needed. You're right, we need to prioritize this and do it now. And here's a bunch of money, and here's my support. Let's go make it happen. That's called getting the green light. When you get that approval, that support from your stakeholders, you have the green light to move forward with your change initiative. And now you have to figure out how to actually make it happen. And that's where the change strategy comes in, right? The fourth step in this process. This is where you're going to need to come up with a game plan, a high level plan, and then some detailed plans for how you're actually going to make the change happen. So that's going to, again, we fall back on our desire to want to use analysis to help us to inform our strategy, just like we used analysis of the needs to inform our solution design. We want to do an analysis and organizational readiness assessment, we call it, to inform the change strategy. So you'll do that as part of this project. You'll put together a set of change adoption strategies, right? For how exactly are you going to make this change happen? You'll put that plan together and you'll present that, and that'll be your second deliverable for your team project. Now, the process will continue. The course will end. You know, if we had more time, we would have you go out and implement the change, which is the fifth step here of the process, the implementation of the plan, right? Where you get the project plans together, you execute on the project plans, you build all the different things that you need, the training, the communications, all the other stuff that you're going to need to roll out the change, implement it, make it happen, sustain it, and eventually transition into what we call the steady state. Steady state is just, you know, back to normal operations, right? So we're no longer trying to change something. We're trying to just sort of cement it in place and make sure that people are continuing to do things the new way, whatever the new way is, whether it's a new system, a new process, a new set of cultural values, whatever it is, there's a new way that we want people to start acting. Steady state is about cementing that new way so that it is the only way, the way that people are acting. It's the new normal. So we're not going to get to change implementation and steady state operation with your project, but we will be having some conversation about that in the discussion forums. So what you should see throughout the semester is this project that's going on with your team. That's happening at one level. At another level, you'll have your course readings, which should map to these steps that we're talking about here, and the discussion posts tied to those readings, which should also map to this, right? So you'll be reading about things, you'll be writing about things, having some discussions, and then working with your teams to apply what you're learning to that real world project. And that's how all this ties together, right? The readings, the discussion, and the team collaboration, all working towards getting your change initiative eventually theoretically implemented, right? But again, you'll run out of time in the course. You will not be actually implementing your change, but you do need to have a good strategy for how you're going to implement your change. So that's what we're going to focus on in this class. So that is the whole class in a nutshell. I will in future videos talk through, bring this project template back up, and then we're going to talk through some of the specific tools and resources that are available in here for you to use as part of your team project, right? So we're trying to make it a little bit easier for you to get up and running and moving with your team. We don't want you to spend a lot of time on aesthetics, on format. We want you to spend your time having substantive discussions about change. And that's really what it's all about. That's the name of the game here. So literally and figuratively. So we will, I will see you around. I'm gonna stop sharing here. And so I will see you around. We have lots of readings, so make sure you keep up with the readings. The discussion posts need to be sharp. I need to see that you guys are really consuming the content, thinking about it actively, trying to figure out how to apply it and use it, and reflect that in your posts, right? If I see that sort of effort being made, you'll be rewarded with good scores. If I don't see that, you're going to hear from me about it. So I need to see you really working to integrate the readings into your own knowledge base and applying it to your work, applying it to your project. If you pull all those best practices through into your projects, you're going to have an easy time with your project. So so that's about it. Keep up with the readings, and I will see you online. Thanks.